Let's listen to Officer Brandon Tatum's silly reason on why masks don't reduce the COVID-19 virus.
For you. Dr. Fauci came out and said unequivocally that the mask doesn't stop you from getting it. It stops you from spreading it through liquid droplet forms. If there's any kind of respiratory way you can receive that, you're going to get it through a mask. If you can smell a fart through a mask, I guarantee you the molecules from a virus is much smaller than a fart molecule.
Why the CDC encourages everybody to wear a mask when they can't socially distance. Because if one person doesn't decide to wear a mask, like yourself, and you have the COVID-19 virus, you're going to spread it regardless if we have a mask on. But if you decide to not be a baby and wear your mask, and you do have the COVID-19 virus, and other people around you who are not socially distanced wear a mask, it's less likely to be transmitted.
I'm just saying. I'm just using common sense. I don't have to be a doctor or scientist to understand any of these things. They're common sense factors.
And a common sense factor is that everybody wear a mask in order not to spread the virus. Okay, it's common sense. Your cough is blocked by your mask. It means it's going to travel. It's not going to travel as far as compared to somebody who is not wearing a mask. So that's why everybody needs to wear a mask, Brandon. Now let's listen to somebody who really has common sense, Kyle Kulinski from Secular Talk.
So Louis Gohmert was diagnosed with COVID-19, and of course, he was all around, Congress without a mask, and he was literally in committee hearings, sitting next to people, had COVID the whole time. It's just a mess. Now, by the way, I saw an article the other day. I don't know if the numbers have changed since then, but it was like 7 Republicans and 3 Democrats who tested positive for COVID. Some of them are asymptomatic, but others, I think, have symptoms. I don't know who, but Louis Gohmert was interviewed after he got his diagnosis, and you'll never guess what he blamed for it.
I can't help but think that if I hadn't been wearing a mask so much in the last 10 days or so, I really wonder if I would have gotten it. But I know, moving the mask around, getting it just right, I'm bound to put some virus on the mask that I sucked in. That's most likely what happened.
Homeboy blamed his COVID diagnosis on a mask. First of all, most of the time he wasn't wearing a mask. He wasn't wearing it. But he's saying, oh, I probably got COVID. It was the times that I did wear a mask. And what I would take the thing off, and then obviously when I take it off, there's virus on the mask, and so I breathe in the virus from the mask. So really, if I didn't wear a mask, I probably wouldn't have gotten it. Have you ever heard something so stupid that you don't even know how to respond to it? Like, that's so stupid, I don't even know what to say back. You do know it is overwhelmingly more likely that you caught it when you weren't wearing a mask, right? That is what all of the empirical data and the science shows, is that masks work. At the very least, it's risk mitigation, where you greatly reduce the likelihood that you get it if you wear a mask. So the real takeaway should be, damn, I should have never been anywhere in public, never been anywhere inside with other people where I wasn't wearing a mask. Literally the day before he got the diagnosis, he was at a committee hearing without a mask, surrounded by people. And then I also saw a headline the other day, Nancy Pelosi now enforces, universal masks when you're in the house. And I was reading it and I was like, you didn't have that already? The pandemic became like the huge story in like early March. And you didn't, in Congress, with a bunch of old idiots, you didn't already have that. It took you until now. Just so everybody understands, it's not, you could be forgiven for thinking Congress is full of corrupt people, but really they're effectively the planners of society. So they're evil geniuses screwing us from their ivory towers. No, the reality is they are corrupt, they are screwing us, but they're also monumentally ignorant and stupid.
Thank you, Kyle, for your great wisdom. I need it. It's a sigh of relief. And this is why, folks, the debate between Brandon Tatum, Officer Brandon Tantrums Tatum, and Kyle Kulinski from Secular Talk needs to happen.